YouTube. Today is Sunday, July 26, 2015, and I like to share my thoughts on a matter. Um, I had last week, last month, did a commentary on the church shootings. I was very emotional, and the essence of what I talked about was, for us to stay calm and not let these events that we hear on the media to get us to react and do violence, and that these events is just to get us excited and to try to start a race war, and that's what I felt. But today I was watching YouTube as usual, and this time, I by chance came across videos on the church shooting in Charleston, and when I saw the word, my attention was perked, and I thought initially how insensitive to suggest that a shooting like that was, but I wanted to hear him out and to investigate. And there was one particular video, I saw many videos on this subject, but this one particular video really had me questioning. I want to share you that video. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, this video will kind of speak for itself.
And tell me now, have you talked to your friends? Have you had a chance to communicate with others who were at this high school with this man who is now basically accused out in public of a heinous crime?
Okay. Hear what you say in the background? You're going to see.
Emmanuel Church. The church itself is not open for some time. I'm joined now by Don Lemon, who's here with me.
And a friend.
Today he's got to make sure he's a friend, he says. But look how jovial they look. Watch this woman.
The whole thing that we have been talking about is whether this is terrorism or not. And I think it is terrorism. By any stretch of the imagination, you can understand that people are upset. But, we're going to continue to talk about that.
The president himself.
See, they're ignoring the lady, but look at the lady closely. She has a lot of sunlight on her. See all that sunlight on her, and she got glasses on. But look at the men in front. See, look at her like who is she? Like she's crazy. Okay. This one YouTuber referred me, referred to that video. And that YouTuber said that that's a green screen in the back. That those two newscasters are not actually engaging, not at the scene of that woman. I watched that video several times, and I noticed certain discrepancies. One thing, it's a very sunny day, and yet the woman has, as expected, a lot of sun reflecting off her skin. She looks hot. But the two men, the news reporters, both of them, they look very cool. There's no sweat on them. You don't see any light beaming on them as the lady. They have like uniform lighting, soft lighting on them, dispersed all over. And then what I noticed, well, why aren't they engaging in conversation with her? They're to investigate the the happening, and they want to probably talk to a lot of people from there, how they feel, but they're ignoring her and why she's acting the way she's acting. People in general seem very supportive of the families of the victims. So why is this woman acting the way she does and using the language that she's using? And then you also notice that if you look at the woman's eyes, the direction of her eyes, even though she has the glasses on, she's really not looking at those two men talking to her. She sort of looks like she's looking at them, but if you look closely, the aim, she's not actually talking to them. I realized that YouTuber was probably right, that was a green screen, and the two events, the woman and the two men, were not at the same place, and it may not even been taped at the same time. So I got to think, if this is a news reporter, a news agency, everything's about, the truth and, accuracy. But that seemed to be and that's CNN. And I know that in news reporting that they use green screen, but not like, So it got me thinking, how many other things that I thought was one thing, but it's not. So it got me thinking, that video that I just showed you. So I started looking at other videos and thinking that, hey, maybe something's up. So there were other videos that I saw, and I like to share those with you. See if I can find it. Let's see. There was a video with, let me see, the victims, the family of the victims that I wanted to share. So I could find that. Sorry, I'm just toggling back and forth. Let's see. Okay, yes, I want to show you this video here. Okay. This video here are the children of one of the mothers who was shot. I want to play it.
So I just say,
Okay, let me see if I can put it up.
Oh, absolutely. That's the whole clipping, but it's happening.
Let me see if I can.
Not for other stuff, but not for as far as
See, I'm trying to.
They both forgive them.
I'm trying to find.
Use common sense. Wait, these people just lost their mother in the shooting.
Honestly, it's surreal. It's a blessing that everybody came out here today. I just want to thank everybody that came out here tonight, and hopefully things will just keep getting better. Tragedy. It's tragic.
How do you want people to remember your mom?
She's a God-fearing woman. She was a great mother, a great coach.
Okay, their mother had just got shot less than 24 hours ago.
Hold up, Joker. How are you talking so eloquent? Where are you? Joker, you just lost your mama.
Okay.
When did you find out about what happened yesterday? How did you find out?
Well, I received a phone call in distress, so I rushed down
They were in distress, Joker. Really?
there, and I was briefed, but I wasn't sure of anything until
He was
everyone
briefed.
was told about it. So
This young man is an actor.
it was tough, but things will get better.
It was tough, but things will get better. This man already in the acceptance stage. He just died. Mom!
When did you last see her?
I saw her yesterday morning, early in the morning before she left for work and
Like
everything
was
else.
doubt.
This like
That was a question.
And they're in the gym.
Going through your head right now. See,
Why are they in the gym?
nothing. They have money, they ain't gonna pay her for acting.
Not just your mother, but other victims who were in that church at the time. What do you feel at the moment?
I feel a lot. I just feel a lot of love.
Hold up, Joey. Wait. You feel a lot of love? How do you feel right now? A lot of love.
I'm a little bitter, but
I'm a little bitter, though. Oh, yeah. If you falling for this, Joker, something's wrong with you.
I don't know.
I'm overwhelmed with love.
She overwhelmed with love. Not crying.
Okay.
She lost her mama.
Okay, I know the guy in the background is commenting. I couldn't find the actual video of without the guy commenting on it, but the actual video of the interview. But they had the two children in a gym. They're dressed very neat. They don't look distraught. The guy has his button all the way up, you know, and he said he was debriefed, but that's like a government term, and not like something like a teen would say, you know, that, oh, you know, they told me about what happened to my mom. They don't seem upset. And then there were other interviews of family members of the deceased, and they were saying they got so much love, and they were laughing, and they looked like they just won, you know, the lottery or something. I didn't understand their emotions. You know, if my mother got shot violently and died just less than 24 hours, I don't think I would be smiling. And I don't know, it just, you know, as they say, they call them. And then they mentioned that it's about 9 families that were victims of the shooting. And I mean, they're part of 9 families. And each of these families are going to get $3 million each. So it's a total of $29 million that the government is going to give to these families. Now, why is the government handing out money to victims of shooting? This was just a lone individual, and people get murdered every day, but they're not getting $3 million from each from the government. So that was another thing, and I found out that like the Sandy Hook school shooting, that the family members of those deceased are getting money, about I think 20-something million from the government also. It didn't make any sense to me, and other shootings like this one, that the family members are getting this money. So I'm a little confused why this is happening. Okay, it just seemed like they also made mention about there was a federal website that of one of the that was okay. There was a federal website. Let me find that for you. That holds classes. Okay, this is a website here. Hope you can see it. It's FLET, Federal Law Enforcement Training Centers. And they have, okay, as you see on top, the address here. Hope I can show that carefully. Okay. So, this website here, I'm just scrolling down. Look what type of class they're holding. Okay, the second one down. See that? It's called Active Shooter Threat Training Program. Okay, you see here, it's also being conducted in Charleston. Okay? Hope I got that. So I'm going to open up. They have a training class, and I'm going to show you the training class that they're offering. And on this training class, okay, I think it's this one here. See that? It says Charleston. And you look across, it's active shooter threat instructor training program. And look at that. Being conducted on 6/15/2015 through 6/19/2015. Okay, I hope that you got that there. Trying to get it there. But it's this one right there. I'm sorry. This one right here. Okay. So I thought that was very telling. So you're going to have a shooting, and at the same time of this shooting, the federal government holding classes to teach about active shooter threat instructor training, you know. So it's just really getting me thinking, what was the event at the church shooting just like on 9/11, taking place that same day and the same time of a plane hitting in a building? You know, it's the statistics of that just being coincidental. And again, coincidental that you're going to have a shooting and the federal government conducting during that time period, you know. So I just thought that was, you know, to me. And then he's supposed to, the shooter is supposed to be a racist, but yet he has black friends, and one of his black friends made mention that either that same week or the week before that he was told by the shooter that he was going to shoot a classroom, a school, a college, a university at that. Let's see if I could find that video. Let's see. It's entitled like 8 Strange Things About the Shooting, I think it's called. Let me see, I'll type in that information. So, okay. Okay, it's this video here on top. It's titled 8 Strange Things About the Charleston Church Shooting You're Not Being Told. Okay. Make it bigger. Okay, I'm gonna fast for it.
What's your reaction to the news about Dylan?
This is Black Friend.
That he actually did everything he said he was going to do. And I don't feel no different today than I felt about it before he did.
Now notice the guy's accent.
Like I said, who's to say Dylan was in his right mind? Nobody knows what anybody got through. He told us
It's British now.
He was not. That church wasn't his primary target at all. That's why my heart goes out to those 9 families, because you guys weren't the targets.
What does that mean?
He wanted to shoot that school up, UCA, University of Charleston. It's 3 miles up the street from that church.
He told you
Yeah,
he wanted to attack the school.
Yeah, he had no.
And look at his eyes. When he talks about it, he puts his eyes down.
About when he told you this?
We're on our
See,
way.
his eyes are down again.
It was on a Wednesday because we dropped them off at the lake. So he was like, he's gonna shoot the school up, and I was like, what? And he just stopped talking about it. He never said anything else about it. He was just like, they all got 7 days to live.
As close as possible, can you remember what words he used to say? What he said?
That I'm gonna shoot up. That I want to shoot the I'm gonna shoot the university up, and they all got 7 days to live. And on Wednesday he did it. He shot that church up.
Did he give you a reason as to why he said he might want to do that?
No reason. I just think it all boils down to his childhood. Him and his parents aren't on good terms. Like I said, without the support of your parents, you'll do things that you wouldn't think you do.
When he mentioned the school, did he have a grudge against?
That sound kind of his parents. They're not on good terms. How many parents?
He wasn't an angry person.
He wasn't an angry person. Is that likely? That anytime your parents going to get it, not on the best terms, you're going to go in university or a church, and the guy's accent kept changing. 1 minute he has like a southern accent, and then another minute he has a British accent. So what is he? Is he just a plant? Is he a real friend of the fellows? And all the alleged photos of the shooter, Mr. Dillon, him with Confederate flags or patches of countries that they had the apartheid South Africa and Rhodesia, and other weird stuff, photos of him, and it's very, it's questionable. And then that the alleged photos of Dillon wearing these, controversial, items, that a lot of them look like it was, So with all these things, these evidence or signs, it's making me think that all this is, and again, if it's not, it's still questionable, and my heart goes out to the victims' families. I don't want to be insensitive, but all these things, the children, the victim of the children, the victim of the shooters, I'm sorry, they seem happy, and they're going to be getting large sums of money, several million each. The green screen in the background of the lady and the two announcers, and just other stuff. The federal website that had classes, drills being conducted that same week, all suggest to me that, and why I'm sharing this is that some things in life, it's all about, reality, what's truth, and that's what I'm exploring this at this time in my life and through my current videos on this channel, that what you see, what you hear may not be the truth, and that we're to investigate and to most of all stay calm, because my initial response with the church shooting, I was very emotional, and I even put out a video about it. But now it's really just telling me, hey, be even more careful about your reactions towards things, and that some things that are should think, and again, it's just for effect, and maybe these things were being promoted because it's going to initiate national policy regarding, in this case, maybe gun control or who knows what else. So, again, I'm not saying my purpose is not to offend anybody, any community, any family member, but just to examine everything that we see in the media, even the news outlets, that some things that they show you is not, and it's just to make you emotional and to react. So I'm saying don't react. You could respond, but don't react, and use your head and use reason behind everything that you see and hear that goes on in the media. So that's all I wanted to say, and let me know what you think. You can write your comments below. You can share this video with your friends and family members, and feel free to subscribe, and again, to give me the thumbs up. Peace to you all. Bye-bye.